Hey guys, Brian from Boas here. One of my all-time favorite parts of being a boa breeder are the holdbacks. Selecting my favorite animals from every year's worth of breeding that I'm going to raise up to carry their genes on to the next generation of boas. And I have quite a few really nice ones that I held back in 2022. They're developing very nicely. Today I want to share with you some of these animals. I'm going to get up my close-up lens so you can enjoy the details of these beautiful animals. So this is my favorites from 2022. To start with, here's a really nice 2022 Coops Pastel Colombian boa. And you can see the amazing pink-orange coloration of this animal. Just gorgeous looking animal. This is the first year I had bred these guys, and I really wasn't even planning on holding some back, but the coloration of these animals just blew me away. And some of them, like this one, were just dripping with this pink-orange color. You can see there just how colorful this animal is. And this is a project started by a breeder in Europe named Silvio Coops, who selectively bred normal Colombian boas just for more and more pastel ones every generation. The project was continued by Vin Russo, who produced the adults that I have, and then some of these babies were just even more colorful than my adults, so I just had to continue the project. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how these animals develop and how the next generation of these pastel boas look. I actually still have a couple available, full litter mate, full siblings to this one, so check out my Flickr page if you're interested in these Coops Pastels. Next we have a true red tail, and this is a Pacalpa Peruvian female I held back. I unfortunately didn't produce many of these last year, just one small litter, and held back a pair for myself. This is the female, but you can see just gorgeous red tail, and her yellow coloration is already starting to come out. Unfortunately, I haven't had as consistent results with the Peruvians as I've had with the Surinames, but I have a couple pairings going on as we speak, and with any luck, hopefully I'll have at least one litter of these Pacalpa Peruvians in 2023. But you can see that gorgeous tail coloration, beautiful yellow colors. You just can't beat a Peruvian as far as a true red tail. 2022 was also the first year that I produced any morph boas, and I crossed a Moron Jungle with another Moron Jungle. And this is one of the animals that resulted from that cross. This is a super Moron Jungle. And so I think pretty much everyone's familiar with the jungle gene and its effects on the color and the pattern. The Moron is an incomplete dominant form of pastel. The single copy Moron has a pastel coloration, whereas the super Moron with two copies has this amazing deep red coloration. So you can see the deep red coloration from the two copies of the Moron gene, as well as these aberrant saddles from the jungle gene. So really an amazing looking animal. Here's a close-up of the super Moron Jungle. There's only been a handful of these super Morons produced, so I was really excited to produce this animal, and she just really stood out from the rest of the litter, and I'll be really excited to see how she develops over the years ahead and hopefully go on to breed herself. There's some question about whether super Morons can breed, but this is one thing that I intend to investigate with this animal, and I think it's really just a matter of time. I think there's just so few of them around that the cross hasn't been demonstrated yet, but there's nothing about this animal that leads me to believe that there's anything abnormal with it that would stop it from breeding, but only time will tell. This is another litter mate from that same Moron Jungle breeding. This is actually just a single copy Moron Jungle. This guy's a male, and I just love this guy. You can see the beautiful coloration and the beautiful pattern. The Moron gene and the jungle gene just go really, really well together, and it's definitely one of my favorite two gene combos. Here's a closer look at the Moron Jungle male. You can see he doesn't have the same deep red coloration as the female, but you can see just how beautiful the coloration is. The Moron really brings out that pastel, and the jungle helps enhance the color as well. as well as cause these saddle aberrancies. You can see some partial striping, and the saddles have just kind of a more geometric look to them. But truly a breathtaking boa, the Moron Jungle. And I actually have a couple littermate females still available. They're beautiful Moron Jungles, and these guys are pretty hard to find. So if you've been thinking about working with the Moron gene, this is a perfect opportunity. You can check out those females at my Flickr page at the link below the video description. Another first time breeding for me in 2022 were the Cocker-Key dwarf boas like this one, and I was really happy to produce these animals. And so these are similar to the Crawl-Key dwarf boas, but quite distinctive as well. A lot more dark coloration and more consistent saddle pattern. And this is one of the females I held back. These animals have really grown on me over the years, and now they're definitely quite different from the Crawl-Key the more that I work with them. And I've just really enjoyed handling them and breeding them. And unfortunately the litter sold out really quickly. It seems like these Cocker-Keys have gotten really hard to find without too many people working with them. I actually don't have any pairings this year. I do have some Crawl-Key pairing, but hopefully in 2024, with any luck, I should have more Cocker-Key boas. Another really popular dwarf boa lately is the Tarahumara mountain dwarf boa, and I had a small litter in 2022, including this baby. Decided to just hold back this one female. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of them, and they just sold out super fast. They're just really hard to get lately and just been in a lot of demand. It's not hard to see why they're so popular. I mean, they're the smallest type of boa you can get, and they have a lot of the same behaviors as the larger boas, so a real great boa to work with. I have a pairing this year. I'm not sure if it has taken though. We'll just have to see, but if luck works out, hopefully I'll have more baby Tarahumara this summer. One more 2023 holdback. This is a female longtail or Longecata Boa. These animals are another great locality boa to work with that doesn't get all that big, maybe 5 to 6 feet long maximum, and just a really enjoyable animal with a lot of good pet qualities. They're great to handle, easy to keep, and beautiful to look at. These guys are starting to get darker already, but believe me, in 3 or 4 years time they'll look completely different and have much darker markings overall. Just a beautiful dark boa that acquires its dark pigment as they mature. And I still have quite a few of these beauties available, so go check out the Flickr page if you're interested. These are from Vin Russo's bloodline, and they're not related to my 2021 Longecata that are from Bassette's bloodline. Actually, I have the Bassette pairing again this year, so fingers crossed for some more of these. So those were some of my favorite holdbacks from 2022, and I'm really excited to grow these animals up, watch them develop over the years, and get them into breeding projects for the next generation of boas that I produce. And as I mentioned, quite a few of these animals still have littermate siblings that are available for sale on my Flickr site, which you can access at the link below the video description. So check those out if you saw something you liked in this video and you maybe want to add a full sibling from that animal to your collection. As always, shoot me any questions or comments you have. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your boas.